If you don't like the sight of blood, then please look away for the first 2 to 2.5 minutes. The rest of the footage contains video footage of the placenta, so please be warned. Okay, so this was about almost 2 hours after I gave birth, and I was finally feeling ready to prepare the placenta. So here it is in the bowl. You still got the blood in there because I haven't cleaned it yet. So apologize now. I'm filming all this with just one hand because I wasn't feeling up for setting the tripod up and everything. So here you go. I've got the placenta. I'm taking it out of the bowl and I'm putting it into a bowl of water. I didn't use tap water because I don't like all the chemicals that are in the tap water here where we live. I've just used distilled water, and I'm just using the water to clean off the placenta a little bit more. Here you go, you see, and you can see the blood lifting off in the water. And then you can take this opportunity to get some of the blood clots off also. I was having difficulty doing this because I'm trying just to use one hand, being I've got the phone in the other hand. So I did this a little bit more effectively later. But yeah, it's best to get any blood clots off that you can. And yeah, just give it a good clean. Okay, so next I'm just about to put it into the colander. You see I put it in there and it looks a lot more clean now. You can see the placenta a lot more clearly. And I'm just going to move this. Again, I'm struggling because I'm just using one hand. So yeah, the video footage isn't the best. So I'm just moving the placenta out now and I'm going to put it onto the muslin blanket. And you see that now here. So now my goal is just to get the placenta as dry as possible. And I like using these cotton blankets for this because they're very absorbent, especially if they've been washed a few times. Because when you buy cotton, they often have natural oils on it and are less absorbent until they've been washed a few times. So this is an older one, so it's very absorbent. So I just dab it a lot to get the moisture off. And it's also a good opportunity to get any more blood clots off that might be left on there. And that's basically it on this stage. So here you can see she's here sleeping good with her placenta all cleaned up, and I leave it like this for 24 hours. I don't like to add anything until 24 hours has passed. So 24 hours has now passed, and you can see that the cord has started to dry out a little bit. It's looking quite different. So here I'm getting ready to put on the salt, etc. I'm doing it different to how I did it the first time and even second time. You can hear about how I did it the other times in my other videos. So you can see I've got some powdered myrrh, some Himalayan pink salt, and I'm using some juniper leaves from my yard. And I've just put a good amount underneath the placenta, just basically laying it on a bed of it all. And then I'm going to put a good coating on the top also. Now the juniper leaves have a nice pungent smell and have good antiseptic properties, but you can use any other type of herb, like some I mentioned in my other video, for instance. Or, something else maybe that you have in your yard that's significant to you. So you can see here another day has passed and the cord looks a lot more dry now. It's more like wire, like a wire hanger. So it's a little bit movable, but not very movable. And you can see the ribbon that I wrap around the top of the blanket to keep everything sealed in. And it looks very different, the placenta now. It's a lot more dried out. So I'm going to show you that a little bit. It's a lot smaller as it dries out because it has less water content in it. Oh, and please forgive any background noise. I've literally been running around the house to find little corners that are quiet. I have 5 children, so it's not easy finding a quiet area at any time. So you see how it looks a lot thinner now from how it's dehydrated a lot more. And you can see how the cord is very dry. And at this stage, it's starting to get ready to detach. Once it starts drying like this, it's getting a lot closer to detaching. So now you can see I'm adding some more salt and some more myrrh. each day I look at it and see if I need to change the blanket out. I do it more than once if necessary. Sometimes you can get a lot of the kind of liquid or even the blood soaking through. So as and when necessary, I replace the blankets and then top up the herbs and the salt. So yeah, and at the start, actually, you may find that you want to put a couple of blankets or a towel underneath the placenta, because it can soak through quite a lot if you're doing it this way. And then as it gets more and more dry, then you'll find that you don't really have that problem anymore. So here you can see I'm just going to wrap it back up again. Now I've renewed the herbs on here. There we go. And I've tied the ribbon back on here, as you can see. And then it's very easy to move around to pick up, you see, like this. The way I do it like this, that's why I like to tie it like that. It's like a bag. You know, you can buy placenta bags, but I just didn't want to pay out that money. I didn't really find it necessary. And it's important to use a cotton blanket because it's nice and breathable. So it helps with the drying out process. You don't really want to be keeping it all moist in there. When you keep it moist, that's when it can go bad. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, please let me know. And I'll either answer in the comments or I'll make a new video on the topic when I can get around to it. I do have a lot more on this topic to make soon.